Live from this news center of the Sultanate of Oman television, here we present to you tonight's news bulletin. First, the headlines. His Majesty Sultan Haytham bin Tariq receives a written message from His Excellency, the President of the Arab Republic of Egypt, related to the bilateral relations between the two brotherly countries. His Majesty the Sultan receives at Al Alam Palace the credentials of a number of their excellencies, the ambassadors of brotherly and friendly countries accredited to the Sultanate. His Majesty issues royal orders to form a higher committee to study for mechanisms to deal with the developments resulting from the novel coronavirus COVID-19. And the tender board awards the establishment's projects for a hospital in the Wilaya of Mazuna in the governorate of the Far with more than 15 million Omani Rials. Good evening once again, and thank you for joining us. Those were the headlines, and now the news in detail. His Majesty Sultan Haytham bin Tariq received a written message from His Excellency President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi of the Arab Republic of Egypt related to the bilateral relations between the two brotherly countries and matters of common concern. The message was handed over to His Majesty the Sultan when he received this morning at Al Alam Palace His Excellency Samih Shukri, Foreign Minister of the Republic of Egypt. His Excellency the guest conveyed greetings of His Excellency the Egyptian President to His Majesty the Sultan, along with his best wishes of good health and happiness and for the Omani people further progress and prosperity. Meanwhile, His Majesty the Sultan asked His Excellency the Egyptian Foreign Minister to convey his greetings and best wishes of good health and happiness to His Excellency the Egyptian President and for the Egyptian people further development. During the meeting, the two sides reviewed aspects of the existing cooperation between the two sides in various fields in the frame of the existing fraternal relations between the two countries and their brotherly peoples. The meeting was attended by His Excellency Yusuf bin Alawi bin Abdullah, Minister responsible for Foreign Affairs, and His Excellency Ambassador Mohammed Ahmed Fahmi Ghunaim of the Arab Republic of Egypt, accredited to the Sultanate, and the accompanying delegation of His Excellency the guest. His Majesty Sultan Haytham bin Tariq received at Al Alam Palace today the credentials of a number of their excellencies, the ambassadors of brotherly and friendly countries accredited to the Sultanate. His Majesty the Sultan received the credentials of the following: Her Excellency Ambassador Li Limping, Extraordinary and Plenipotentiary Ambassador of His Excellency President Xi Jinping of China, accredited to the Sultanate. His Excellency Ambassador Abdul Wali Ali Ahmed, Extraordinary and Plenipotentiary Ambassador of His Excellency President Mohammed Abdullah Vermajo of Somalia, accredited to the Sultanate. His Majesty also received His Excellency Ambassador Dr. Ali Mahdi Jawad, Extraordinary and Plenipotentiary Ambassador of His Excellency President Ibrahim Saleh of Iraq, accredited to the Sultanate. His Majesty also received His Excellency Ambassador Umar Relibi, Emir Extraordinary and Plenipotentiary Ambassador of His Excellency President Gotabaya Rajapaksa of Sri Lanka, accredited to the Sultanate. His Majesty received His Excellency Sirine Aliou Diem, Extraordinary and Plenipotentiary Ambassador of His Excellency President Macky Sall of Senegal, accredited to the Sultanate. His Majesty has received His Excellency Ambassador K.K. Ahsan Wagan, Extraordinary and Plenipotentiary Ambassador of His Excellency President Dr. Arif Alawi of Pakistan, accredited to the Sultanate. And His Majesty received Her Excellency Ambassador Sunia Abu Al-Qasim Suleiman Goma, Extraordinary Plenipotentiary Ambassador or President of the Libyan National Accord Government, accredited to the Sultanate. During the sideline meetings with His Majesty the Sultan, Their Excellencies the Ambassadors conveyed their greetings of the leaders of their countries to His Majesty the Sultan, wishing him good health, happiness and long life, and the Omani people further progress and prosperity under the wise leadership of His Majesty, expressing their honor and happiness to present their credentials to His Majesty the Sultan, stressing that they will exert all their efforts to enhance the relations of their countries with the Sultanate in various fields to serve the common interest of the Omani people and the peoples of their countries. His Majesty the Sultan welcomed the ambassadors and thanked their leaders for their greetings and good wishes, assuring them that they will receive all support from His Majesty the government and the Omani people to facilitate their duties. The credentials presentation ceremony was attended by His Excellency the Minister of the Diwan of the Royal Court, His Excellency the Minister responsible for Foreign Affairs, and His Excellency the Head of the Royal Protocols, the Commander of the Royal Guard of Oman, and military aides of His Majesty the Sultan. His Majesty Sultan Haytham bin Tariq sends a cabal of condolences to the custodian of the two holy mosques, King Salman bin Abdul Aziz Al Saud of the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, on the death of His Highness Prince Abdul Aziz bin Abdullah bin Faisal Al Saud. Meanwhile, His Majesty the Sultan sends a cabal of greetings to His Excellency President Parama Sivum Pillai Vayampori of the Republic of Mauritius on his country's National Day. His Majesty Sultan Haytham bin Tariq issued royal orders to form a higher committee to study scopes for mechanisms to deal with the developments resulting from novel coronavirus COVID-19 in the light of the latest health indicators and publications of the World Health Organization in this regard. The royal orders stipulated that the formation of the committee under the chairmanship of His Excellency the Minister of Interior, with membership of a number of Their Excellencies the top officials. The committee shall be tasked with monitoring the virus updates and efforts exerted regionally and globally to combat it, and following up the procedures taken in this regard and setting up appropriate solutions, proposals and recommendations in accordance with the results of the general health evaluation, where the committee has to discretion of the seeking instruments and measures necessary to redeem the task's success. The Sultanate is following up with the development in coronavirus through forming a high committee to study scopes for mechanisms to deal with the development resulting from COVID-19. More details in the following report. With great interest, the Sultanate is following the global developments of the disease coronavirus COVID-19. His Majesty orders to form a higher committee to study scopes for a mechanism to deal with the developments resulting from novel coronavirus COVID-19 through latest health indicators and publications of the World Health Organization in this regard. The royal orders stipulated that the formation of the committee under the chairmanship of His Excellency the Minister of Interior, with the membership of a number of their excellencies, the top officials. The committee shall be tasked with monitoring the virus updates and efforts exerted regionally and globally to combat it, and following up the procedures taken in this regard and setting up appropriate solutions, proposals and recommendations in accordance with the results of the general health evaluation, where the committee has the discretion of seeking instruments and measures necessary to redeem the task's success. In the meantime, the World Health Organization warned there was now a very real threat that the new coronavirus outbreak will become a pandemic, but stressed the virus could still be controlled. After global COVID-19 infection passed the 100,000 mark, WHO Chief Tedros Adhanom Ghebreyesus told reporters that the threat of a pandemic has become very real. But he stressed, even if we call it a pandemic, still we can contain it and control it. It would be the first pandemic in history that can be controlled, he said. We are not at the mercy of the virus. He pointed out that the situation varied widely in the 100-odd countries that have so far registered cases, with 93% of all cases being located in just 4 states. Whether it is pandemic or not, the rule of the game is the same: never give up, he said. He said 79 countries had registered fewer than 100 cases, and more than half of those had seen fewer than 10 infections. At the same time, in China, where more than 80,000 cases have been recorded since the outbreak began there in December, the country appears to be bringing the epidemic under control. You're watching the Sultanate of Oman television, and later to come in our news bulletin, the Samrest House in London enthralls visitors with an art exhibition, main subject mushrooms.
وإننا ماضون بعون الله على طريق البناء والتنمية، نواصل مسيرة النهضة المباركة كما أراد لها السلطان الراحل رحمه الله، مستشعرين حجم الأمانة وعظمتها، مؤكدين على أن تظل عمان الغاية الأسمى في كل ما نقدم عليه وكل ما نسعى لتحقيقه، داعين كافة أبناء الوطن دون استثناء إلى صون مكتسبات النهضة المباركة والمشاركة الفاعلة في إكمال المسيرة الظافرة، متوكلين على الله عز وجل، راجين عونه وتوفيقه.
Welcome back to the news from the Sultanate of Oman television. The tender board awarded the establishments projects of a hospital in the Wilaya of Mazuna in the Governorate of the Far at a total value of more than 15.3 million Omani Riyals. The board also discussed the tender of designing, execution, operation and maintenance projects tender for Daba Lima Khasab Road to be established in the Governorate of Musandam. The tender also approved the results of technical analysis for bids of consortium of companies qualified technically to implement the project as per the applicable procedures. The meeting was chaired by His Excellency Dr. Rashid bin As-Safi Al-Huraybi, Chairman of Tender Board. The Royal Navy of Oman RNO celebrated the graduation of a new batch of officers round. The celebration was organized by Saeed bin Sultan Naval Base, in which graduates performed a military parade in normal and slow march before the main days, accompanied by RNO musical band. They performed the military salute. Then the chief guest pinned the medals of long service and good conduct on a number of RNO's personnel in recognition of their long service and devotion in performing sacred national duty. The celebration was presided over by Major General Salim bin Musallam Qatb, commander of National Defense College. The Minister of Interior said that the period for submitting applications for candidacy for membership in Municipal Council for the third period ends tomorrow, Thursday, at 12 o'clock at night, indicating that it will not be possible to submit any applications for candidacy received after this date. The ministry called on citizens who wish to run for those and meet the requirements to run for municipal council elections to expedite the submission of their applications before the end of its period tomorrow before 12 midnight through the election website elections.om and attach the required documents in full. The Oman oil price May delivery increased by 69 cents and amounted to $35.39 per barrel. The average price of Oman oil March delivery amounted to $64.89, decreasing by 60 cents compared to the price of February delivery. And now for the international news. Workers have begun clearing Syria's M4 highway running east-west in Idlib province, which shall be used as a security corridor under the ceasefire deal brokered by Turkey and Russia. A Syrian Transportation Ministry official said that the Latakia Governorate has started preparing the highway, which has been closed since 2012, to be put back into service by clearing debris and sand from the road. The recent truce arranged by Turkey and Russia, which supports opposing sides in the conflict in Syria, halted a 3-month air and ground campaign by the Syrian government against the rebel-held Idlib province. That offensive killed hundreds and sent 1 million people fleeing towards the Turkish border, with many of the displaced persons now living in makeshift camps inside Syria. The ceasefire deal sets up a security corridor along the M4 highway, and Russian and Turkish troops are scheduled to begin joint patrols along it on March 15. Disinfection and quarantine efforts took place across Asia while Italy continued to experience the consequences of lockdown in the global battle against the spread of the new strain of coronavirus. Australia announced it would be bringing in a travel ban on people arriving from Italy, adding to their ban on travelers from China, South Korea and Iran. In South Korea, which has seen more than 7,700 cases of the virus, the focus was on disinfecting public areas like the transport system, as well as testing those suspected of having been in contact with the virus. Scores of passengers and crew aboard a river cruise boat moored on the Mekong River were under quarantine in Cambodia today after a British passenger tested positive for the new virus, Cambodia's third confirmed case. The UK's capital brought in increased disinfection procedures on the busy underground transport network as authorities continue to advise most people to keep walking, traveling and socializing as usual. The UK had confirmed 373 cases of the virus and 6 deaths. In mainland China, where the virus first exploded, more than 80,000 people have been diagnosed and more than 58,000 have so far recovered. The Hong Kong Public Transport Network MTR has joined forces with a local biotechnology science company and is deploying vaporized hydrogen peroxide robots to sterilize the subway carriages. The 70-kilogram robot will be used to clean the train thoroughly on special situations to clean 8 carriages. It will take 4 hours in total. The camera installed on the robot enables the staff to control the cleaning robot outside the carriage by using the electronic devices. The companies claim the robots can kill all types of bacteria, including the COVID-19. More than 121,000 people have been infected worldwide and over 4,300 have died. Mushrooms may not be the first medium that comes to mind when we think of art and design, but that is exactly what a new exhibition in London is focusing on: mushrooms, the art, design and future of the fungi. At Samarest House invites the public to take a deeper look into the world of mushrooms and their many uses.
The exhibition brings together the work of over 40 artists, designers and musicians that celebrate the rich history and promising future of fungi and how it can be used to better the planet. Highlights include a solar-powered mushroom suitcase from acclaimed conceptual artist Karsten Holler and watercolors by author Beatrix Potter, whose collection of over 300 scientific illustrations of mushrooms and fungi form a significant contribution to the study of natural history and is still used by mycologists today.
Mushrooms for me are an amazing metaphor for symbiosis, the need to live in tandem with the world around us. So you could use that between humanity and mushrooms. I mean, mushrooms live in tandem with all ecosystems. Trees, many plants only function because of their relationship to fungi. So for me, I think it's really interesting that human beings are aware of the damage they've done to the planet, are really looking for natural ways to change that relationship.
A focus on more practical uses for fungi can also be seen in the exhibition. Mycelium is the fungus that mushrooms are made of, and it can produce anything from plastics to furniture to plant-based meat. Lampshades made from mycelium that feature in the exhibition were created by British designer Sebastian Cox, whose studio is based in London. This is not the first time mushrooms have been used to create practical devices. Scientists have made headphones and leather watch straps out of fungus in recent years.
We think of all these things as very normalized, but plastic itself in such a wide way has only been happening in the past 50 years, since World War II in particular. So I don't see why in 50 years' time we can't be looking at the use of mushrooms as a material.
One of the pieces that has received a lot of attention is the mushroom burial suit by J. Rim Lee, designed to reduce the damaging environmental impacts of the funeral industry.
One of the most amazing pieces we have in this room in particular is J. Rim Lee's mushroom burial suit. Because human beings were actually quite toxic for the environment now when we're buried, because we're so filled with preservatives and toxic elements. But she's created a suit that you're buried in, and actually you become mycelium and actually become mushroom food. So you're actually having a more ecological way of dying, and I think that's a really fascinating concept, actually rethinking about what the human-earth connection is.
Another practical use for fungi that the exhibition explores is housing. Mycelium can be used as an alternative for insulation and as a cheap building material, and many of those exhibiting are hoping it may become a realistic substitute for plastic in the future. The show's organizers are most interested in showing new ways in which humans can interact with the world in a more symbiotic and less damaging way. The exhibition in London runs until April 26, 2020.
This is the Sultanate of Oman television. Before we end tonight's bulletin, here are the main points once again. His Majesty Sultan Haytham bin Tariq receives a written message from His Excellency, the President of the Arab Republic of Egypt, related to the bilateral relations between the two brotherly countries. His Majesty the Sultan receives at Al Alam Palace the credentials of a number of Their Excellencies, the ambassadors of brotherly and friendly countries accredited to the Sultanate. His Majesty issues royal orders to form a higher committee to study for a mechanism to deal with the developments resulting from the novel coronavirus COVID-19. And the tender board awards the establishment's projects for a hospital in the Wilaya of Mazuna in the governorate of Dhofar with more than 15 million Omani riyals. And with that, we do conclude this news bulletin brought to you live from this news center of the Sultanate of Oman Television. Thank you for joining us and good night to all of you.